Hey everybody, this is Sarah from Serenity Reiki, and I'm here today with Lady Roxanna.
Hi everybody.
And today we are talking about this new energy since we're moving out of the Mercury retrograde. We're still in the shadow, but we're moving away from it. So one of the big themes has been surrender. So Lady Roxanna, has that been something that's popping up in your world too?
Oh, of course. And you know, as fire signs, the last thing we want to do is surrender.
This is true.
So it needs to be done, but it hasn't felt easy, that's for sure.
No, not at all.
And maybe that's why, clear that.
Okay.
And maybe that's why it's been such a rough retrograde for everybody. I mean, this one has not been easy, and I think that's the whole point, or at least that's what they're telling me in meditation is surrender, and it's like goes against everything I believe in, but I think it's time.
Right. I know earlier in the month we talked about going with the flow and being in the flow, which is similar to this, but not quite the same.
Right.
Surrender is really hard for fixed signs, too, because it's just like we have to have a plan and we have to be in motion all the time.
Yep.
So to surrender and just release it and go, the universe has got my back and everything's going to work out, sounds so simple. But when you're living it, it can be really difficult.
Yes.
So
yes.
What would you suggest folks out there do if they're fighting with this and they're having this lesson come up over and over?
And like I said, fire sign, the last thing they want to do is surrender. So
right.
And it's it's kind of when you're trying to figure it out for yourself, how do you tell someone else how to do it? Honestly, I think it sort of does. It still relates to the flow, because if we can just, release and allow, the flow will be much easier.
Right.
And that has been the thing for me is, after this crazy winter that we've had and being in strange places, I am trying to learn it. I really am. I'm like, okay, if this is what you're telling me you want me to do, I will let it go and just let the flow come to me. Right.
And not try and make everything fit our timetable.
Exactly.
Surrendering and knowing that maybe we want this and maybe we don't want this, but we're still maybe pushing or trying to make it happen, and the universe is telling us no, this is really not for you. Quit trying to make this happen. Quit trying to chase that person or get that job or whatever it may be. Just surrender, and if it is for you, it will come to you.
Yep.
Once again, sounds simple, but when you're living it, it can be difficult.
Yes.
Meditation, I think, is key here. Self-care, learning to relax, and journaling, as much as I hear groans out there, but journaling. and get to the point of it with journaling where you can really understand, why are you trying so hard to make these things happen? Is it a core belief that you must have this, you must do this for some sort of validation? Or, why are we grasping so hard at these things?
Yes.
Also really, really big life lessons.
Yeah. And the thing with the journaling too, like I said, fire signs, we cry occasionally, but we don't cry. Okay, that's just not a thing we do. And this time, but that was
kidding?
like a really most important thing was like we all need to release.
Yes.
And that was, I don't know, the tears are just, release for your soul. I mean,
yes.
It's not like I'm a person like, oh, let me go sit down and cry for 30 minutes, because trust me, it never, ever happens. But sometimes it needs to happen.
Right.
And I know with the few tears I have released, in this past crazy time, my guides were like applauding me, like it's like, yes, you need to do this. And it's not, it was not an easy thing for me. It was not comfortable, but I think, journaling could be helpful in that too, though. I mean, if you just don't feel like you're someone who likes to do that, write down whatever the hell you think, or feel, or however it comes to you. Just write it down, and if you don't like it when you're done, burn it, tear it up.
Right.
It's gone. You don't have to keep it,
Yeah, you're not going to be graded on this. The reason I said that a while ago when you were talking about crying was one of my students made me cry today. It was a very sweet moment, and I was telling Lady Roxanna earlier that sometimes I think we all need that reminder of why we do what we do. It's really nice to see the results and see people shift out of suffering and into a state of happiness, a state of moving forward to be who we were supposed to be, not stuck in suffering. So, yeah, tears are sometimes the only way we can express emotions, whether it's happiness or sadness or pain. It's such a wonderful release for the body and for the mind and for the soul. So don't be afraid to cry. And for some people, crying would be a lot easier than journaling even. But it's whatever works for you. Yeah, good luck with surrendering.
Yeah.
Lady Roxanna and I will be back next week. Reiki blessings.
Bye for now.